Film props and costumes really help make a film feel alive. Every little detail we see on screen has been carefully curated by the director and the production team to fit the aesthetic of the production. Sometimes, however, they sneak something into the background that may cause you to pause and ponder if you'd seen it before. Whether due to budget restrictions or having some fun on set, here are 10 movies that recycled props and costumes from other movies.
Stick around.
Marvel's The Avengers and True Lies. Remember the awesome final scene in True Lies? The 1994 James Cameron film saw Arnold Schwarzenegger duking it out in a jet in the final scene. Well, turns out you've actually seen that jet more recently than you realized, as the fighter jet made a brief appearance in the background of 2012's The Avengers, during the scene where Hulk and Thor have their epic fight. Joss Whedon revealed this tidbit on the Blu-ray commentary of The Avengers. Terminator 2 and Predator. A double dose of classic Arnold is never a bad thing. But you may have thought to yourself, have I seen that before? When it comes to the T-800's minigun from T2. In the scene, John Connor tells the Terminator not to kill anyone, resulting in fiery chaos that spared all those police officers. The same can't be said of the same gun in Predator, the 1987 Alien film also starring Arnold. In that film, Bill Duke's Mac sports the same minigun as that Arnie would use a few years later. Spider-Man, Evil Dead, Darkman, and Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi has a knack for reusing the same prop in all his films. Can you guess what it is? Turns out the yellow Oldsmobile that Uncle Ben was driving in Spider-Man is actually Sam Raimi's own car, a 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88, nicknamed The Classic. Raimi has used this prop in all his films, including his Evil Dead franchise, Darkman, and Drag Me to Hell. Starship Troopers, Firefly, and Planet of the Apes, soon to be remade. Starship Troopers is a cult classic science fiction film that sees humanity rally together to fight the bugs, terrifying insectoid aliens hell-bent on destroying us humans. In order to combat such a threat, humanity wore some pretty nifty armor. They're so nifty, in fact, that you may have wondered where else you saw them. Chances are it was when you last binged Joss Whedon's excellent Firefly series, where the Alliance soldiers used the same exact armor as seen in Starship Troopers. The armor was also briefly used a year earlier in the 2001 reboot of Planet of the Apes. Evil Dead 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street. A fun piece of double trivia. Keen-eyed fans of 1984 Nightmare on Elm Street may have noticed that the horror classic Evil Dead was playing on Nancy's TV set. Flash forward to 1987 and director Sam Raimi conjured up Evil Dead 2, the campier entry in the series. Knowing that his film was shown in Wes Craven's slasher classic, Raimi decided to subtly place the original Freddy Krueger's glove above the shed door before Bruce Campbell does some damage with his signature chainsaw. Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Majestic, and Spy Kids 2. Raiders of the Lost Ark has some of the most famous and most celebrated moments in cinema. One of them comes early on when Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones takes the golden idol off the pedestal in the temple. Jump ahead more than 20 years, and the idol has been rediscovered in the film within a film, Sand Pirates of the Sahara, which was part of the 2001 film The Majestic. The golden figure can also be seen in an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, as well as Spy Kids 2. A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. A well-hidden prop in the original Star Wars film actually became a character in its sequel, The Empire Strikes Back. In the cantina in A New Hope, large metallic drink dispensers can be seen behind the counter, completely blending the background and not making any sort of impression for the audience. That is, until the sequel, when those metallic canisters would become the head for the bounty hunter, IG-88. The hunter would become a fan favorite in the former expanded universe. Sin City and Kill Bill Volume 1. That really was a Hattori Hanzo sword. That may have been what crossed your mind when you watched 2005's Sin City and noticed some familiar props in the Big Fat Kill chapter. In it, Devon Aoki plays Miho, a deadly silent assassin who favors blades as a means to terminate her foes. But her coveted samurai swords actually had their debut in another film 2 years earlier. After filming the Kill Bill films, director Quentin Tarantino stashed swords used by the Crazy 88 in his garage, only to be used by his buddy Robert Rodriguez shortly after. On the Sin City commentary, Rodriguez even stated that in the film's cinematic universe, Hanzo did indeed craft Miho's sword as well. Forbidden Planet, Gremlins, Invisible Boy, Earth Girls Are Easy, The Twilight Zone, Lost in Space, Addams Family, and The Big Bang Theory. If you've seen Forbidden Planet, then you know Robbie the Robot was the standout from that film. So much so that he has in fact made his way into other films, as the prop was passed between productions over the years. The prop has appeared in dozens of productions, including Earth Girls Are Easy, Invisible Boy, the TV shows Twilight Zone and Lost in Space, and The Addams Family, as well as randomly showing up in Gremlins. He most recently made an appearance in Season 8 of The Big Bang Theory. the original Star Wars trilogy, and Rogue One. Gareth Edwards' Rogue One, a Star Wars story, takes place shortly before the events of Episode 4, A New Hope. So in keeping with the spirit of the original trilogy, costume designer David Crossman stated that some of the costumes in Rogue One are in fact the same costumes that were used in the original trilogy. Those are our picks for 10 movies that recycled props and costumes from other movies. Did you notice these often hidden and reused props and costumes before? Which ones did we miss? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great videos like this one.